At the time of recording, we're just over a week away from Pilgrim's Bounty, which starts on November the 22nd at 1 AM. Pilgrim's Bounty is going to bring a new title, a new pet, a few achievements that you can do, but it's worth noting that it doesn't contribute to what a long strange trip it's been to get the Violet Proto-Drake. So if all you're interested in is doing the ones that contribute or go towards getting that Drake, this one doesn't matter for you. But if you haven't got your cooking to Northrend, this is an excellent way to be able to get your cooking ready now, practically for free. So I'm going to go over all the achievements and how you get them, which, to be fair, none of them are overly difficult. There's one that's pretty annoying, and that's the Turkey Lurker. The Turkey Nater can also be quite annoying, but the Turkey Lurker, trying to find those pesky rogues when they're just stealthing, I'd rather chase turkeys around than rogues. So firstly, what is the idea of Pilgrim's Bounty? Now, outside each major capital, you'll find some tables, and each of the tables have got 5 chairs at them, named after the food that they're sat in front of. So you've got the pie chair, the turkey chair, the stuffing chair, the sweet potato chair, the cranberry chair, and you can basically sit and get 5 stacks of each one of these foods. Once you get 5 stacks of each food, so get your 5 stacks, move to the next chair, get your 5 stacks, rinse and repeat, you'll then get a 10% reputation buff, which is called the Spirit of Sharing. Now, one of the achievements is called Pilgrim's Paunch, which requires you to go and get this buff from 4 different places. So for the Horde, you're going to go to your major capital cities, and for the Alliance, you're going to go to your major capital cities. You'll go outside, you'll see the tables, and you can get the buff. You also, before you even worry about doing that, you can, from the Bountiful Feast hostess, get a quest which basically teaches you how it works. It tells you to sit at a table and get 5 stacks of food. You don't need to do this, but you absolutely can if you want to. One of the achievements that you're going to want to get done sooner rather than later, because most people tend to rush these out as soon as they're available, and you want to do it when there's the most people sat at these tables, is Food Fight. You simply need to bounce food off a fellow feaster's head at a bountiful table, and you do this just by sitting next to him, targeting him, and spamming 1. Now, if you need to get your cooking up, getting the achievement Now We're Cooking is just going to naturally happen, because these 5 recipes you're going to cook to get your cooking from 1 all the way to 350, because the final recipe doesn't actually go grey until 355. So actually, you might as well get to 355. That makes sense. But as long as you cook all of the recipes on your way up leveling, which I'll talk about in just a moment, you'll get this achievement. Now, there's dailies that you need to do, and you only really need to do them once, but if you want to do them every day, feel free. But where the tables are outside each of the capital cities, there'll also be a daily or possibly 2. And it will get you to cook 20 of one of the recipes from Pilgrim's Bounty. And to get the recipes, all you need to do is outside one of the capitals, go to the Bountiful Barrel, and you'll see Bountiful Cookbook, which will contain all the 5 recipes that you actually need. You will need to have level 1 cooking to be able to actually use the book, but just go and learn cooking. Now, to get to 355 in cooking, the order you're going to want to cook these is spice bread stuffing first, which is going to get you all the way up to 115 if you was to cook it till it goes grey. This does require spice bread, so make sure you learn spice bread from your trainer when you learn cooking. But all of the materials you need to make the spice bread and make the spice bread stuffing can be bought from the Pilgrim's Bounty supplier. After you've made all the spice bread stuffing you need, you're on to pumpkin pie. Now, this does need ingredients specifically either from Undercity or Stormwind, so make sure that you either pick all of these up before you start cooking or just head round to each city as you need to. The pumpkin pie is going to go grey at 175, but by the time you get to 160, you're going to be able to make cranberry chutney. Now, cranberry chutney you can craft all the way up to 235, or until you're ready to make candied sweet potato, which is at 220. The cranberry chutney, the materials come from Ogrimmar or Ironforge, depending on whether you're Horde or Alliance. When you get onto candied sweet potato, these you're going to craft until around 280, but you can get to 295 with these. Now, the materials you're going to need for this are either outside Thunderbluff for the Horde or Darnassus for the Alliance. Now, the last craft is quite annoying. So at 280, you can start making slow roasted turkey. Now, there's no way of buying the main ingredient, which is wild turkey, so you actually have to go and hunt it down for yourself. So outside the major capitals, you've got turkeys running around all over the place, and they are part of an achievement as well, which we'll get to in just a second. But you want to kill as many turkeys as you can, loot them, and cook them. And this is basically going to take you all the way to 355 skill. So not only have you got to 355 skill, you've cooked all of the things you need for the achievement as well. And because you've been doing the dailies, each daily you do gives you a choice of 6 rewards. So you can either get the Pilgrim's Hat, the Pilgrim's Dress, the Pilgrim's Boots, the Pilgrim's Attire, the Pilgrim's Robes, or you can get the Turkey Shooter, which you're going to need the Turkey Shooter for an achievement. And it's the really annoying achievement I was talking about earlier, which is Turkey Lurkey. So you're going to need to do at least one of the dailies, get the turkey shooter, stand in Dalaran, and just shoot each different race of rogue. Now, while we're at it, we might as well speak about Turkinator. Now, what you need to do for Turkinator is when you go and kill the turkeys to get all of the different turkey meat that you need to obviously make the food, to get the achievement, to blah, 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 blah. These turkeys, when you kill one, you get a stacking buff. And you basically need to, it lasts 30 seconds, and every one you kill, the buff stacks. So once you've killed one turkey, you'll have one stack. You now got 30 seconds, a bit like Crank. If you ever played Crank on COD or seen the film, you can't stop. Once you've killed one, it's a chain effect. You keep going and going and going. And once you get up to 40, you'll get the buff, and bang, you've got the achievement, basically. But the more people that are doing this, the more irritating it's going to be. So just go out and start pumping those turkeys down so you get Turkey Triumph. Turkinator's done. Another achievement ticked off the list. Now, another achievement that you need is you need to, first of all, get at least 2 of the dailies done so you can get the chest and the head rewards, and then head over to Sefek Halls with the chest and the head equipped and kill the final boss. This will then unlock Terakar Turkey Time. Fairly straightforward, not a lot to say. Sharing is Caring is another one of the achievements that you're going to want to get done early on, because you've got to pass one of every dish at a bountiful table. The only way you're going to be able to pass it is if there's someone sat next to you. So be sure to get this done sooner rather than later when everyone's got bored of it and no longer doing it. Now, there's one thing I've not really spoke about yet, and that's the food themselves, because they're really good. And we'll get on to that. Let's just finish the achievements, and then I'll tell you, especially if you're a caster, why, assuming that it's going to happen how it should, you're actually going to get the best DPS food for raids that you can get in this 7-day period. But as I say, get the achievements out of the way first. So Pilgrim's Progress is just to complete all of the different dailies. So that's to supply the cranberry chutney, the potatoes, the pie, the stuffing, and the turkey. You'll get that done in the first day, no problem. Pilgrim's Peril is just to wear either a dress, a robe, or attire and take a seat at each of the enemy capital's bountiful tables. So again, that's very easy as well, just a bit of travelling around. Assuming you cooked everything, so you've made all of the dishes, you've got your cooking to 355, and you've done everything we've talked about, you got Pilgrim's Bounty. Check out this food though. Now, slow roasted turkey is going to give you 80 attack power and 40 stamina, which fair enough, you're thinking, well, that's no better than a fish feast, so why would I bother? Fair play. Candied sweet potato is going to give you 40 haste and 40 stamina. But remember, these are free raid food that you can use, or even in dungeons, whatever. You just need to make them. You know, the cost is irrelevant. And depending on how it works, they last 7 days. So technically, if you made them on the last minute of Pilgrim's Bounty before it goes, I'm not sure if we're going to keep them or not. I just want to put that out there. If it does work like that, where if you try on day 2 or day 3 and you craft them and you get a 7-day duration, then you know on the last day you want to stock up on loads of food, because it's another week's worth of more or less free consumables. So far, yeah, the haste, the attack power, not amazing. Pumpkin pie, 40 spirit, 40 stamina, again, not amazing. The spiced bread is a nice 40 hit, 40 stamina food. Oh, I should have mentioned these scowl as well. They've got a formula where they scowl with level. So if you're leveling alts, you should absolutely stock up on these as well, because you'll be able to use it and it will just get more and more powerful every time, you know, as you level up. The food is better as well. But the big one is actually cranberry chutney, because it gives 47 spell power. Now, assuming it's going to be exactly the same as this when Pilgrim's Bounty goes live, it's actually 1 more spell power than you can physically get now. So if you're min-maxing and you want that extra 1 spell power, this is the food that you're going to use. Some of us, you know, do take it that seriously, that it's worth the effort of going and getting that for that 1 extra spell power. But the way the actual formula works, because it's based off level, it does actually equate to something like 47.001, something like that. So rounded down to 47 spell power instead of 46, which pretty good. But that's it. I feel like that's everything you need to know about Pilgrim's Bounty. Hopefully you go out and get all the achievements, and hopefully you found this video useful. And if you did, be sure to like and subscribe. Check out Rested XP in the pinned comment. Roll the outro. There's lots of ways you can support the channel to keep me here putting out World of Warcraft content and covering all future MMOs. Consider joining the channel as a member. You get access to emotes. Everyone will know you're a member when you comment on future videos, because you get a nice icon next to your name. And you get access to members-only videos, which I'll be putting a lot of on the channel throughout the year. Additionally, there's a Patreon link in the description as well. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you on the next one.